going out there?
It's going.
Ballin on a Wednesday, some Cali hump day. I got a dollar in my pocket. Let's go riding in my rocket. I wanna work then play then work the next day. Ballin on a Wednesday. Even working real hard, I've been wanting you harder. Could be pretty, could be smart. I wanna pick you up and drive real fast. Let's hit up that bar under the overpass. Top shelf liquor don't get you there quicker. Let's get southern comfortable. Ballin on a Wednesday, summer county hump day. I got a dollar in my pocket. Let's go riding in my rocket. I wanna work then play then work the next day. Ballin on a Wednesday. I got a brother who's got a friend who's got a brother who's a cop. Might get pulled over, don't mean we gotta stop. I left the dog at the neighbor. You gotta settle for your kid. My hump day DJ playing all your hits. Hey baby, got a quarter, I wanna hear. Hey porter, Johnny's got all the cash. Ballin on a Wednesday, some Cali hump day. I got a dollar in my pocket. Let's go riding in my rocket. I wanna work then play then work the next day. Ballin on a Wednesday. What's the use in working for the weekend when the weekend ends too quick? By the time I'm through loving you, you're gonna wanna call in sick. Ballin on a Wednesday. I didn't go to college, did the school of hard knocks. I've been changing ties, putting in shots. Times I wanna scream in the middle of the beat. It might be Wednesday, but I'm about to peak. I wanna get out on the highway. Mercury haze, watermelon sugar, gonna take away my craze. I got a full tank of gas, ready to fly. I'm gonna take it to the top. I'm gonna take it to the sky. Ballin on a Wednesday, someone call it hump day. I got a dollar in my pocket. Let's go riding in my rocket. I wanna work then play then work the next day. Work then play then work the next. Work then play then work the next day. Ballin on a Wednesday. TGIW baby. I was walking down the hallway here, and somebody said, "Will you please play Ballin on a Wednesday?"
That was me!
That was you? I lived up to my word, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I really did. I lived up to my word. I'm glad. I remember that you said that. Where are you?
I'm up here!
Oh, I see you. Ooh. Ooh. You know, years ago, I was traveling around and I ended up in a place called Stanley, Virginia. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I went to a thing called Radical Honesty, and it was crazy. And they didn't have any alcohol there and vegan food, they had that. And anyways, there was this girl there, a younger girl, and she was super nice, and her dad was teaching there at Radical Honesty. He has these books out. His name's Dr. Brad Blanton. And anyway, so he had started there, and I just put out a record called Answering Machine. It has 56 songs. They're all 45 seconds, and it has 7 bonus tracks. So, I'm not even kidding either.
No, he's not. That's right.
And Neil Young ended up really liking that record, and he would listen to it all the time. And it's really lo-fi, but he dug it. So I left a copy of it there, and this young girl would listen to this record, Answering Machine, which is wild. And so I had written this hit song with a girl named Jewel, and she's from Homer, Alaska. So the song was like, that was the lick, right? Sold 15 million records. Crazy. It sold enough that I bought this boat. I am the captain. But as I walked around the boat, I thought, man, it would be so cool. You know who would be cool singing this is the guy who wrote the books at Radical Honesty, his daughter, Carsie, Blanton. That would be cool. She's singing.
Oh, wow.
But she's not here, so. But it would have been cool, right? Oh, dreams do come true. Yes. This is that little girl. How old were you back then?
I was 13.
13 years old.
Yep, and I was a big fan of this song and Jewel, as you can imagine. So this is a thrill.
So this is a full circle moment. Here's
Woo! Here I am on a boat in the sea, singing this song with Steve Poltz. Hear the clock, 6 a.m. Feel so far from where I've been. Got my eggs, I got my pancakes too. I got my maple syrup, everything but you. I break the eggs, make a smiling face. I kinda like it in my brand new place. I wipe the spots up of the mirror, don't leave the keys in the door. I never put wet towels on the floor anymore, 'cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. But I know that you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you.
come on. I called my mom, but she was out for a walk. I consoled a cup of coffee, but it didn't want to talk. Picked up the paper, there's more bad news.
Picked up the paper, there was more bad news. More hearts being broken, more people being used. Put on my coat in the pouring rain. I went to the movies, but it wasn't the same. 'Cause it was happy, but I was sad. It made me miss you, oh so bad. 'Cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. I know that you love me, and soon you'll see you were meant for me. I was meant for you.
I
brush my teeth and put the cap back on. I know you hate when I leave the light on. Pick a book up, I turn the sheets down. Take a breath and a deep look around. Put on my PJs and I hop in bed. I'm half alive, but I feel mostly dead. I tell myself that it'll all be alright. I shouldn't think anymore tonight, 'cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. And I know you love me, and soon you'll see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you.
That was cool. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe that dream just came true. So her dad wrote all these books, Dr. Brad Blanton, and it was radical honesty. And I showed up there and it was crazy. I was like, I gotta get out of this place. It was like rehab, you know? And so I finally got out of there, and I wanted to have a good relationship with my mom because I figured that would help me with intimacy issues. And then I called my sister from there, and I was freaking out. It was when cell phones first came out, and I had one bar on the cell phone. I remember I got my sister on the phone, and I said, "Don't tell Mom about what happens at Honesty Camp." Now let's just analyze that whole statement. I didn't even want her to know I went there. Then years later, I somehow mentioned radical honesty on stage. And I was on tour with the Wood Brothers, and I was in New York, and we were playing Webster Hall. And Carsie was there because she's friends with Oliver Wood. And she goes, "Did I hear you mention radical honesty?" I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "I'm Carsie Blanton." I go, "Blanton? Brad Blanton's your dad?" And she goes, "Yeah, I had your CD answering machine at 56 songs." And now look what she's doing. See? So because of this, I learned to journal. And I encourage all you guys to write poems and journal because it's really good. You can write things that no one else will ever hear anywhere. And it's your own personal thing. Like, I just did it recently. Dear Diary, I took a shower and used Dr. Bronner's peppermint hemp hippie soap. It smells so good. You see, I'm on the Norwegian Gem and I'm in the middle of the ocean, and I got real sandy the other day when we were in St. Croix. So I washed my armpits back in my cabin and my bum and my private parts. And then I thought to myself, I need to wash my feet too. The water running in the shower isn't going to clean them. I should scrub them with this hand towel and soap. Now, I'm 65 years old, so I lifted up my foot and scrubbed it real good with the soap. every little toe, and it felt so good and clean, like I was doing God's work. And then I washed my other foot, and that felt good too. I was so happy and proud that my feet were clean. Then I thought, I should scrub my butthole because I have this hand towel and lots of soap. But then I was worried that foot germs might get into my butthole like athlete's foot and can make athlete's butthole. But I scrubbed my butthole anyways. And then I had to pee. So I thought to myself, I should wait till I get out of the shower and pee in the toilet. But then I looked around and no one was watching me. Because I obviously wasn't live streaming. So I peed real good like. And I watched it all go down the drain. And it felt like I was doing something bad. And that felt really good to me. So I got out of the shower and dried off. Now I can't sleep because the boat's rocking, and as I was drying off, I looked in the mirror and my balls looked hairy. So I thought I'd try shaving them, even though I had never shaved them before. It just seemed like an impulsive decision. So I tried it, but I accidentally got a cut on my scrotum and red blood dripped into the white sink. It looked really cool, like art, and I love art. But then Sharon walked into the bathroom as I was stretching my ball sack and looking at the blood, and she goes, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then some air escaped out of my butt and made a farty sound. So I decided I should go to sleep and not shave my balls. And Sharon put a Band-Aid on them. The shaving was a bad idea. Thank you, God, for listening to me. Your friend, Steve. So, please don't tell anyone I told you this. It's really important that we get our point across of what we need to do. So I'm glad that you were a part of this. And, now years ago I was on tour with this buddy of mine from Austin, Texas named Bob Schneider. And he's a good friend, one of my best friends in the world. We talk almost every day, me and Bob Schneider. In fact, we're going to teach a songwriting course this summer. Me, Mary Gauthier, and Bob Schneider, and Ryan Montbleu. It's going to be cool. It's going to be in Woodstock, New York. But I was on the road, and Bob Schneider said, let's all write a song and call it Sewing Machine. Oh, yeah. And the only rule is you have to say sewing machine in the song at least once. So my buddy Jason Mraz wrote one, Bob Schneider wrote one. All these really good songwriters wrote a song called Sewing Machine. We had 24 hours in which to do it. Well, no one's sewing machine sounded like my sewing machine. Would you like to hear it? Oh yeah! The piano you'll hear is my friend A.J. Craigie. This is Jim Croce's son, A.J. And A.J.'s a real good buddy of mine. We've written probably 20 songs together. And he has his dad's old Martin guitar that his dad wrote Time in a Bottle on. And so A.J. wrote the music to my words, Sewing Machine. Man, I hope you like it. It's a really special song, and I haven't done it in a long time. Let's see if I can pull it off. While he lives in a hole in a tree, he's much, much smaller than me. He lures the children up for spider tea. He's fuzzy as a bumblebee. While his fingernails have all turned black. His nose is like an old smokestack. Steam leaves his ears, and when the smoke clears, you'll see that you can't go back. Well, he says his name is Jack Beagle. His voice is as screechy as a weasel. He'll sew you up to the wall. In a long dark hall, he's got a bunch of kids sewn to an easel. At least 100 kids sewn to an easel. Sewing machine. He sews the kids together, and his teeth are green. You can't scratch an itch. Your eye can barely scary, scary man who isn't good. Little Mary didn't listen as hard as she could. Now she's sewn to the wall in a hood. She's got a brother with a hook for an arm from an accident that happened on the farm. His name is Ben. He doesn't have any friends. All the children made fun of his arm. Little Ben scratched his itch with his hook and got an idea while reading a book. He welded scissors to his hook where his hand used to be and said, I'll search for my sister down by the brook. Ben climbed deep into the forest. All the owls started singing in a chorus. Be careful, little boy, when you go around the pass. There's a gargoyle in the wood named Boris. Ooh, ooh, sa 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 sa. Sewing machine. He sews the kids together, and his teeth are green. You can't scratch an itch. Your eye can barely twitch. He's a mean old man with a sewing machine. Ben climbed into a hole in the ground. It was cold and so far down. It was dark and hard to see, but he screamed for Mary and kept going down, down, down. When he got to the bottom of the curve, he felt like he was in a big grave. There were kids sewn to the walls, down all the halls, that he knew he had to save. He cut the children down just like he was a crook, using the scissors at the end of his hook. And as the kids broke free, they were screaming with glee, saying, Ben, you are the man. Jack Beeble was as angry as a snake, and he jumped out of a big black cake. He grabbed Ben by his coat, with his hands around his throat, his evil body started to shake. Jack Beeble fell to the ground, and his tears fell all around. He said, I'm sorry I kept you here. I was lonely and without cheer, and no one talks to me in this town. Jack Beeble sits alone in his cell, but when they ring the jailhouse bell, little Ben will come to see him. Even though they'll never free him, he's making friends, mending clothes from his cell. He makes amends, mending clothes from his cell. Everybody in the Stardust together. Sewing machine. Sews clothes for the kids, and his teeth are green. You can't scratch an itch. Your eye can barely twitch. He's a lonely old man with a sewing machine. He's making new friends with a sewing machine. Oh man, I got off of the boat the other day. Do you guys remember where we were? You know all those people are selling t-shirts? I got the coolest t-shirt, and it was right over there when what was our second stop called? Antigua. I found this alleyway, and this guy was selling weed and t-shirts, but he had bootleg Rolling Stones t-shirts because he got sued by the Stones, so he took out the tongue and the part that says rolling, and it just said Stones, and I had to buy it. It's the best purchase I've ever made. Man, I just want to say, I'm so glad that Cayamo came into my life. I'm not kidding you. It's like a multi-tiered blessing. It really is. Last night I stood outside the elevators on the 7th floor and sang Canadian folk songs with some Canadian folks that were there. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was just so gorgeous. And the more I walk around the boat, the more I see your beautiful faces. And I see that your faces are like road maps. And I can see the kind of life you've lived. And I know if it's stranger danger or if it's somebody I can actually talk to and love. And so far, I'm batting 1,000. They must vet people really cool because I have not run into one dickhead yet. Last night I played a show for just the crew, and a lot of them are from the Philippines, and I went to the bowels of the boat. There's a secret bar down there, and it was so cool, and they let me play a show. And I had all these folks, and a lot of the folks that work here are from the Philippines and some from Brazil, and they were all singing my brand new hit song, I'm Drinking My First Beer with My Brand New Liver. And it was one of the coolest moments of my life. And it got me thinking about how Elon Musk is kind of making people report what they did that week. And that they had to give a report to Elon Musk. I don't know how this guy became our dad, but somehow he did, and we're all in trouble. And so, somehow, me and John Craigie got on that email list, and we wrote a song called Dear Elon, and now we've updated it for what we did this week. Would you like to hear it? Please welcome our good friend John Craigie.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's Carsie's lipstick.
You don't pay good money for this microphone.
Oh my gosh. Craigie, this song is already sweeping the nation. I saw it on the internet today.
Yeah. Billboard Top 100.
It's gonna go tinfoil.
Yeah, they should have a Billboard Bottom 100. Top down.
Dear Elon, this is what I did last week. Dear Elon, I never thought with you I'd speak. Don't fire me, no one will hire me. I'm just a dumb folk singer with no resume to speak of at all. Well, dear Elon, I was trying to give you a detailed list of everything I did this week, but man, I've been busy. I think I must have played about 19 times on this boat, and it would have been 20, but Brady's drum circle got canceled due to a shutdown by Mother Nature. But during my 19 appearances, a couple things stood out. I officiated a wedding for a couple of hippies from Tucson, and at the top deck of the rock and roll. I also wrote a song for my booking agent, Phil, because he just turned 43. It's a hit song I wrote with John Craigie, and the title is There Are 43 Beans in a Burrito. I'm positive it's a hit, and the record label thinks so too, and they advanced us $300 billion. So I'm gonna impose a 30% tariff on all Tesla Cybertrucks, because I think they're ugly. I also purchased the naming rights to the Gulf of America, formerly Gulf of Mexico. And I'm going to rename it the Gulf of El Poltzo. I also bought about Greenland, and I'm going to rename it Chartreuse Land because it sounds greater than Greenland. Oh, and one last thing, I bought Doge and renamed it Douche. I hope all this is acceptable for 1 week's work. I also told God to ignore your emails harassing him for resting on the seventh day and not getting any more work done. Yours in Christ, Steve Poltz. This is what I did last week. Oh, dear Elon, I never thought with you as sweet. Oh, but don't fire me, no one will hire me. I'm just a dumb folk singer with no resume to speak of at all. Dear Elon, I've been on Cayamo this week. Sorry I haven't written as much as I wanted to, but I didn't get the golden Wi-Fi package. I haven't been getting as much sleep as I thought. I learned a good lesson here that if you party with the Rainbow Girls, no matter how hard you try, you will not stay up late with the Rainbow Girls, so don't try. When I get up late and I miss my juice, I'm always 2 minutes late for the juice, no matter what time of day it is. Whether it's 8:32 p.m. or 10:02 p.m. Mr. John, the juice, we just shut it down. Awesome. But I did get some emails out to my naturopath, Dr. Sarah Silverman, no relation to the comedian. She asked me if I've been eating the Greek yogurt, like she asked me to. I said, no, there's no Greek yogurt on this boat, but there is a 24-hour all-you-can-eat buffet that never stops and calls your name in your sleep. She said, I don't care for that at all. Dear Elon, and this is what I did last week. Oh, dear Elon, I never thought with you I'd speak. Don't fire me, no one will hire me. I'm just a dumb folk singer with no resume to speak of at all. Well, finally we got to the last day. Poltz and I got up in the morning and we were sad and commiserated because we knew originally we had dueling sets, same exact time. And we were sad because we missed each other, but we also knew that that would tear this boat apart. Families would split. Couples would divorce over who's gonna see who. So Mother Nature intervenes and gave us a slight little delay. So my set would start at 6:45, and I've been waiting backstage to do my song before I have to run back to the Bliss Lounge. And I do think this is probably the only time in the world, the only place in the world where I can show up to my job late and say I'm late because Steve Poltz was singing Sewing Machine in extended version. No one else can take that as an excuse, but you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. But then what happened, Steve?
Well, then it was Phil's birthday, and so he asked us if we would meet him. Well, his wife Megan asked us if we would sing a song for him, so we sang a song for him, and they brought a cake out, and they had these gummy bears on, but they pulled the wrong gummy bears out, and they were 10 milligram, and he ate 5 of them. And then he told you about the gig that we had to do, and it made no sense to me.
Well, yeah, we started getting some weird stoned out texts from Phil. He told me that my set had been delayed, but he said it was delayed till tomorrow, 6 a.m. at the Troubadour. And I said, Phil, I don't think there's a what floor is it on? He said, it's on the 27th floor. I said, this boat doesn't have 27 floors. I don't think there's a Troubadour on this boat. Then he sent Steve some weird stuff, right?
Dude, I opened up the email and he was like, hey, Poltzy, you're playing down there on the 3rd floor in the bondage room. There's a bunch of hot coal and these guys in double suits shoveling coal. And that's when I knew he'd gone over the edge. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Lyne's song. Manager to the Stars. Dear love, this is what I did last week. Oh, dear Elon, I never thought with you I'd speak. Don't fire me, no one will hire me.
dumb folk singer with no resume to speak of at all. Well, you guys sing it with us. Dear Elon, this is what I did last week. Dear Elon, this is what I did last week. Dear Elon, I never thought with you I'd speak. Ah, dear Elon, yeah, I never thought with you I'd speak. Don't fire me, no one will hire me. Oh, don't fire me, no one will hire me. I'm just the dumb folk singer with no resume to speak of at all.
Let's tag that one. I'm a dumb folk singer.
I'm just a dumb folk singer with no resume to speak of at all. Give it up for John Craigie. Hey. How much fun was that? A lot of people go, Steve, don't you ever take time off? I've seen you play everywhere. And I say, I'm going to Nashville, where I live, tomorrow morning. I'm taking an Uber up to Fort Lauderdale right when I get off the boat. And I will be home in Nashville by like 1 p.m. I got like an 11 a.m. flight out of Fort Lauderdale. And then I'm home for one night and I head out. Oh no, I don't. Right, I'm playing a show in Nashville at 3rd and Lindsley. I forgot. I'm 14. I get to actually be home that night. And then I head down to Fairhope, Alabama, and to Oxford, Mississippi, and to Sanford, Florida, and to Tampa, Florida, and Sewanee Music Fest. And then I go out to Texas. I play Austin, Houston, Dallas, Bryan, all over. It never stops. You know why? I just have a hard time saying no, because folks like you show up, and it makes my heart happy when I see you. It really does, and I couldn't have picked a better job. I have this friend who has tattoos everywhere, like all over his body, and he's got a little space left on his face, but that's it. And I don't have any tattoos, but we're good buddies. And I never had a tattoo because I had like 13 collapsed lungs when I was younger, and I always had to get a chest tube put in, so I didn't want to have to get any more needles put in me. And so he fell in love with this girl, but his relationships only seemed to last 30 days. And so he said, now I met this girl and she's so beautiful, and I'm gonna get a tattoo of her face on my face. And I said to him, because I'm originally from Canada and we don't like to upset people, so I said, I don't think that's a good idea. Which is a nice way of saying it. And he goes, know what I'm doing? I said, dude, your relationships don't last long. I said, this one's gonna last. And then he got the tattoo on his face of her right there. And sure enough, they broke up. And so I just said to myself, there's gotta be a song in this. I rewrote the song I wrote about you. Those words of love no longer ring true. Was a sweet melody about a love of you and me. So I had to rewrite the song I wrote about you. I put duct tape on the tattoo of you on my face, so I don't have to see you every time I share. Gonna save up some money and cover you up, honey. But for now, it's new tape every day. You not only broke my heart, this song will never make the chart. It's that same old hurt we've all heard before. No one wants to pity me for the image that once covered me. No one wants to see that anymore. So I rewrote the song I wrote about you. It could have been a big hit. Now my chance is through. 'Cause now it's nothing more than the sad old lonesome blues. So I had to rewrite the song I wrote about you. And tomorrow I'm going down to get my new tattoo, singing the rewrite I wrote about you. I'm so into that song right now. I forgot I wrote it because there's so many songs floating around in my head, but they're in there somewhere. And I've never once written a set list because I don't like organization. But I married Sharon, and Sharon is the most organized person in the world. You know what I mean? Like, she really knows where everything is. In our house, I could say anything like, do you know where my naturalization papers are for when I became a citizen of the United States? Yep. She goes and gets it. I needed to prove it to get Medicare, and I was freaking out because my parents died, and I didn't know where anything was. And I was like, holy shit, they're gonna kick me out of the country. And they would have, but I found them. And I am a dual citizen. Well, we first moved to the USA, all the way from Canada. And we drove across the continent from Nova Scotia to Pasadena. My sister and me and my mom and dad from the cold to sunny south. There were palm trees growing and it was not snowing, and I never did shut my mouth. Well, we drove on over to the courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. Put our hands on a Bible and we swore as a family that we were not communists. When we drove away, I started to cry. They said, what's wrong, son? Are you sick? I said, I don't want to be an American. I want to be a Catholic. That really happened, too. We talked Hollywood, baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Jerry Coleman, man, it could travel really far. Jerry Coleman was the voice of
the San Diego Padres. He also played second base for the Yankees years ago, but then he stopped playing to go fly planes and fight in World War II, and then came back and was a coach at the Yankees, and then came to the Padres, was a coach there, and then became the announcer. And he would say all this crazy stuff that made no sense, like, and he just slides into second base with a stand-up double. And when Tony Gwynn would make a great play in the outfield, he'd go, "Ho, ho, ho, doctor, you can hang a star on that baby." I loved Jerry Coleman. It got some years back. And Jerry Coleman thought I was such a weirdo, but for some reason he liked me. I don't know what it was, but he'd always go, "You're weird, but I like you." And so I flew out to see the Padres play the Brewers in Milwaukee, and I would sing my song 98 Pounder to all the players in the dugout. Bruce Bochy was the manager of the team. And then that night we went back to Bruce Bochy's room, and I was still drinking back in those days, and I threw his minibar out of his hotel window, and he got charged $867. When he went up to San Francisco and managed the Giants and won 3 World Series, I got to sing the national anthem on Memorial Day. And Bochy said to me right before I went out, he said, "Hey, Poltzy, you still owe me $867 for a minibar. When you do the national anthem, don't do it too slow. We don't like to sit through a long anthem, but don't get all Mariah Carey on it either." Now, when you make your first communion, they tell you you're going to eat Jesus' body. That's what this verse is about. I was the last kid in line, and I thought the leg would be gone, and I had to dart me. So the nuns had to pull me aside and explain to me it's just a wafer. And I was like, "Have you been listening to the songs in Mass, Sister Eileen? You hear the words of sons of God, hear His holy word, gather around the table of the Lord, eat His body, drink His blood." What do you think's going on, sister? Well, I made my first communion at St. Rita's Catholic Church. There was incense choking and a priest was smoking with a choir up in the perch. My face got red and my stomach felt bad. They said, "If you're gonna get sick, use a cup." Well, I thought by the time it was my turn for communion, Jesus would be all eaten up. Hollywood, baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Jack Buck, man, it would travel really far. I was with Jewel at the height of her fame, and we were at the top of the arch in St. Louis. You could feel that thing blowing and moving around. And that night, we had a night off before our big show. And so we got tickets to go see the Cardinals play. And when we were up in the arch, we got a call from Jewel's publicist. And the publicist said, "Hey, Jewel, Mark McGwire wants to meet you." And this was at the height of the home run race with Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa from the Cubs. And Jewel looked at me and she goes, "Who's Mark McGwire?" So she sent me down to meet him like I was Robert Duvall, like a consigliere in Godfather 2. You want to see the look of disappointment? Look at the look of disappointment in Mark McGwire's eyes when I came walking in instead of Jewel. Who's this fucking skinny long hair? So I said, "Listen, I'll let you meet Jewel if you introduce me to Jack Buck," because I always like baseball announcers. So I sort of traded Jewel for Jack Buck for a little while. And then I got to meet Jack Buck, and when Jack Buck called games, his voice wasn't like Jerry Coleman's tenor and reedy and tenoresse. No, Jack Buck's voice sounded like they got an auto mechanic on the hottest day in Tampa, Florida. And they ripped out Jack Buck's vocal cords and dropped them into a glass of 151 rum, and then set the vocal cords on fire and sewed them back into Jack Buck's throat with rabid, disease-filled razors that he borrowed from a veterinarian in an alleyway in Cuba. I can never say that again, by the way. So
Hollywood, baseball in the car. So this is what Jack Buck said.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Everything in this next verse is true, as my sister is sitting there as my witness. My allergies are bad, so we moved to the desert to a city called Palm Springs. Trick-or-treated at Liberace's house. Each finger had a diamond ring. And we met Elvis Presley in the middle of the summer, and Elvis hugged my sister for far too long. I felt kind of weird, but I would have pimped her out just to hear him sing a song. Hollywood, baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Harry Carey. Oh Lord, it always traveled really far. God bless Harry Carey, man. Man, he was a Cubs announcer, and when he announced those games, he would be drunk. Instead of just a ragged voice or irritating, no, he would be drunk. Announcing the game was the greatest thing to hear him slur. He could not pronounce any Hispanic player's name. Like even a simple name in the 70s, like Davey Concepcion. The Cubs were playing the Cincinnati Reds. Davey Concepcion's coming up to bat, right? And he goes, now how hard is it to say Davey Concepcion, Harry Carey?
Dino Consiglione Steinberg.
Cotswold! Now here I am, a growing up boy, at home on the 4th of July, staring out at the ocean and the fireworks in the sky. I miss my friends who aren't around, the ones who passed away. I'm feeling kind of grateful here on Independence Day. Hollywood, baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Tom Cheek, man who would travel really far. Man, Tom Cheek was the announcer for the Toronto Blue Jays. They were trying to win the World Series, a repeat performance. And I was with my dad at Palm Springs. My sister was there, and my mom. Man, Joe Carter comes up to bat, and if he can hit a home run, a 3-run home run, the Blue Jays will repeat as World Series champions. My dad was sitting on the couch. Blue Jays were playing the Philadelphia Phillies. Mitch the Wild Thing Williams was throwing 100-mile-an-hour heat. Joe Carter hits that ball and he hits a home run, and Tom Cheek made the call. It was beautiful because he goes, Joe was having trouble trying to lay off that ball low to the outside part of the plate, and he just went after one. Here's a swing and a belt. Left field, way back. Blue Jays win. Blue Jays win, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. And as Joe Carter's foot touches second base, Tom Cheek says, touch a ball, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life. My dad ran into the front yard with a Canadian flag wrapped around him, and he was naked. The neighbors called the cops. I think this is what it sounded like. Let's see.
Joe has had his moments. Trying to lay off that ball, low to the outside part of the plate, and he just went after one. 2 balls and 2 strikes on it. Here's a pitch on the way, a swing and a belt. Left field, way back. Blue Jays win. The Blue Jays are World Series champions. As Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch a ball, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Hollywood, baseball. Hey, the voice of Tom growing up would be so hard. Touch 'em all, Joe. Oh man. I learned a good song by my friend Mary Gauthier. Do you guys know Mary? She wrote this song and she had me sing it at Americana Fest for her big anniversary for Drag Queens and Limousines. And I'm gonna do it. And if she appeared like an apparition somehow, that would be really cool. I hated high school. I prayed it would end. The jocks and the girls, it was their world. I didn't fit in. Mama said, baby, it's the best school money can buy. Be strong, hold your head up. Come on, Mary, try.
So I stole Mama's car on a Sunday. I left home for good. I moved in with my friends in the city in a bad neighborhood. Charles was a dancer. He loved the ballet. Kimmy sold pipes, she rigged Kerouac and Hemingway. Drag queens and limousines, nuns and blue jeans. Dreamers with big dreams, they all took me in.
Charles and I flipped burgers to cover the rent. And bourbons at happy hour for 35 cents. One day before work, we got drunk and danced in the rain. So they fired us both, they said, don't come back here again. Dreamers with big dreams all took me in. and he worked for the state. He never quit nothing, he wanted me to graduate. And my brother and sister, they play in the marching band. They tell me they miss me, I know they don't understand. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And pray the people you love will catch up with you. Back when limousines, nice blue jeans, dreamers with big dreams, poets, AWOL Marines, actors and barflies, writers with dark eyes, drunks that philosophize. These are my friends. Good Lord. The maestro. We got so much fun together, me and this woman. I love Mary Gauthier. Hey folks, let's not let it end. Let's now bring out my good friend, Mr. Jim Lauderdale. Why should we have the party stop? This is the greatest show I've ever played.
Again.
Hey, my gosh, I'm just having so much fun. I can't believe I read you from my diary and I sang Sewing Machine. And the show still ended up being sweet. Hey, I'd like to remind you we're recording this show, and Joshua does such a good job recording. You can get all my performances, all Jim's, everybody's, Mary's. And right after the show ends, go to the merch area because you're going to be tearing it down. 40 minutes after this show ends, the merch will be bye-bye. I have cool hats that say El Poltzo for Perez. You can wear it and just confuse people. And I gotta tell you, I've been so fortunate to have this angel here come into my life. I always wanted to meet him and write songs with him. And the way the world works is great in wondrous ways. I moved to Nashville and we ended up colliding into each other, and he asked me about how my hair gets this color. And he wanted to know, he wanted some hair tips. And I said, yours is actually cooler looking, dude. Mine's more a ragged surfer, Southern Cal hippie. Yours is cool. And then he said, no, I like your hair. And so, I don't know, what do you have to say, Jim?
I concur. And Steve, real quick, because I don't want you to run out of time, but I've got a special announcement for folks. I've been working with Six Man, and in a few months, we're going to have the Steve Poltz Bitcoin. The engraving of Steve on the cover of it, and it's going to say, dude, this is the best Bitcoin ever. So look for it and go buy it and punch it.
Just when I thought I couldn't love you anymore, Mr. Lauderdale, you come out on stage just a wagging your tongue and telling a tale. You talk of Bitcoin when you say it makes me feel good. Oh, Lauderdale, 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 so good they named a city after you. I'm flying out of your airport tomorrow.
Your airport.
Hey, Jim and I, we wrote this song, and it was after my dad died, and we were thinking about, I was kind of sad. I'd lost both my mom and dad. My sister felt the same way, and my niece Kayla, and so I just want to sing this song. And the first time I sang it, it passed the smell test with Sharon, and Sharon is a great listener of everything I do, and I can tell when she really likes something. And when we sang this song, it made her cry, and it was beautiful. And Sharon doesn't fake it. If she's not into a song, she'll go like this. What else you got? But she loved it, and I'm lucky to know her. So this is called Magic Carpet. Well, we found magic carpet hidden in the garage. When I first saw it, I thought it was a mirage. It was folded up all tight like a pocket knife. Some folks say when you're dead, but I had other thoughts spinning in my head, and I believed that carpet was able to visit the afterlife.
We saw mothers and sisters and cousins and dads and all the best friends we'd ever had, and even some mean old bullies that we all used to fear. But we didn't want to tell folks about what we'd found, because there were only so many rides going around. And a month of Sundays quickly disappeared.
Take out your magic carpet. Watch as it all unfurls. The wind will stop pulling you sideways. Float on up to the afterworld. Take out your magic carpet. Stretch out and let it glide. Go find the ones you've been missing. You'll have a heck of a ride. Well, our best friend Steve, he lost his dad, and he walked around looking lonely and sad. We thought for a while he didn't want to live this life. So we decided to cheer him up a bit and take him out for a special lift way up yonder to those wondrous heavenly lights.
Man, you should have seen his face when he saw his paw in that special place. He said, "Dad, now that I'm here with you, I'm never gonna leave." His dad said, "Son, I missed you too. And I'm gonna hug the lonely out of you. But there's some folks that still need your help down below." Well, they held each other and started to cry. And then it was time to say goodbye. His dad said, "Son, it'll even be sweeter when you come back to stay."
Take out your magic carpet. Watch as it all unfurls. The wind will start blowing you sideways. Float on up to the afterworld. Take out your magic carpet. Stretch out and let it glide. Go find the ones you've been missing. You have a heck of a ride. Well, when we got back, there was quite a crowd that had started gathering all around. Somehow the word got out about our magic rug. They all wanted a piece of it, and they began pulling it bit by bit. And sooner or later, everyone started to tug.
Well, they tore it up in 1,000 pieces. So no more rides for nephews and nieces or anybody else looking for the way to be shown. Like all good things that start out magic, sometimes they can end up kind of tragic. Now we all just have to wait to see the unknown.
Take out your magic carpet. Watch as it all unfurls. The wind will start blowing you sideways. Float on up to the afterworld. Take out your magic carpet. Stretch out and let it glide. Go find the ones you've been missing. And you'll have a heck of a ride. I was wondering if you guys would sing this with us before we end this show. It'll just be a cool way to end it. All you have to do is go like this. Take out your magic carpet. Watch as it all unfurls, but not in that horse of a place. Take out your magic carpet. Watch as it all unfurls. Watch as it all unfurls. The wind will start blowing you sideways. The wind will start blowing you sideways. Float on up to the afterworld. Float on up to the afterworld. Take out your magic carpet. Take out your magic carpet. Stretch out and let it glide. Really let this rain. Stretch out and let it glide. Go find the ones you've been missing. Go find the ones you've been missing. And you'll have a heck of a ride. You'll have a heck of a ride. Okay, big ending on Take Out Your Magic Carpet, but really let it kind of go slow, like you're stretching a big piece of bazooka bubble gum. So it'll be like, take out your magic carpet. Okay? Let's do it.